Charlie Slaven, and my life journey in Christ began when I was really baptized at the age of 11, and it continued with the journey through God and Country Award and Boy Scouts, and then a lot of activity in my church, White Oak Christian Church over on the northwest side of town. And then I went off to college, and after a freshman year I actually got the opportunity to live in a Christian men's house the second year. So I continued to develop in my college days. After that, I went off into my early profession, in which I was a certified public accountant, and I was on the road and spending lots of hours, so we kind of got separated for a few years until my first son Brian was born at my age of 28, and at that time I rededicated myself to making sure that we had a home church where we were very active, where we could bring up our children in the church. It was First Christian Church of Harrison. And in that church I became very active as a deacon, then an elder, then the chairman of the board, and led various ministries during that time. And then as the kids got older with sports and college, I had to cut back on some of that, but during those formative years, the ministries that I followed and I participated in was basically the Father's Ministry, where we met every Friday morning over at St. James Catholic Church in the White Oak, Montfort Heights area. And we met over there, and we had about 75 men that would get together for that. And then we started Promise Keepers division in Harrison. I think the highlights of my journey, and maybe it's the human condition, is that we fall away and then we get brought back. But in bringing it back, what happens is that we get focused, we get people to hold us accountable, we get back into a routine of prayer and reflection. And through that, you're able to refocus some of your priorities. Unfortunately, I think I've been known to be a workaholic, so I have to break that professional habit to make time for myself, whether it be mental, spiritual, physical kinds of things. And so I'd say the highlight is that when I come back, I actually get rejuvenated and refocused and start paying attention to the important things in life as opposed to the trivial many that we can all get sucked up into. It is important to take Christ to work because there is such a void. There is a gap. There is a secularism that wants to separate us from Christ. There's a lot of political movement and stuff that's going on, whether it be local or national government, that's trying to create such a separation between in God we trust and what the secular world would want us to believe. So the silent majority needs to become less silent, and we have to step up into that void and make a difference in the workplace and in our communities. The void really impacts their ability to deal and cope with life, and so sometimes we will see relationships break down in families. We'll see alcoholism or other kinds of addictions that they go to, as opposed to relying on Christ to solve those problems. You'll see a lot of conflict because of lack of proper value systems within the workplace. And so it's up to us to basically inject that back into it, because otherwise we are taught that it is not politically correct or something, right? It's a problem, and so we have to step up and make sure that we are accountable to closing the gap with Christ. A relationship with Christ must be each and every day. When we fall away from that pattern of living, life happens, stuff happens, and the dark side basically invades us, so we need to make sure that we continue to refresh ourselves with prayer and readings and surrounding ourselves with the right kinds of folks so that we put the right things into our brains so that we behave in an accountable manner. Yeah, there's one lady at work that she had basically fallen away for probably 20 to 30 years, and I kept on talking about my life journey and what I do, and I think now she's back into a pattern of, at least on Sundays, I'm not sure it's gone to the daily perspective, And quite honestly, sometimes I fall off the wagon a little bit too, and I need to get myself in front of somebody and have them coach me back into a daily lifestyle. So there has been at least one life, and I think maybe we influenced one of our neighbors, the wife of one of our good friends that lives close to us, and she's now going back into her Catholic faith, which she had been separated for probably about 40 years. And now she's back active in the church. So I think it's one step at a time. Life is a journey. You can't do it all in one day. But if you can see progress each and every day or each and every month, then I think it's worthwhile. It doesn't really matter what title, income, or occupation you have. It is important to God that He is honored and that we are at work on purpose.